Let's take a look at the process. It begins with work from the flat, where the student first learns how to simplify the form. You're taking these abstract lines and putting them together in such a way as to convince the observer that he/she is looking at an object, an arm in this case. Please notice that a strong beginning has straight lines and simplification of form. Looking at the finished result, we can see the subtleties of the musculature, but here the outlines are stated as a series of straight lines that will be all nuanced into an undulation later. This straight line block-in does two things. First, it makes sure that you, the artist, are understanding the intervals, the rhythms involved in the form. It also acts as a very strong scaffolding that underlies all future refinements. This is a step in the progression towards the finished product, and please make sure that you, as an artist, don't skip any of the steps, because skipping steps ensures that you will have a weaker final work, and why on earth would you want such a thing? So, first you have to learn the skill of how to simplify the masses of form, and then how to render it. Making copies is a very important aspect of learning to draw. It's the fastest way to absorb technique. The more copies you make, the better you'll get, and the faster you will get there. These copies teach you what we might call the language of drawing. After learning this language from the flat bar drawings and other copies, you then go on to cast work, first with charcoal and then with oil paint. The plaster cast teaches us many things, primarily the range of values, the lights and the darks, within a form, and also the technical aspects of handling charcoal, how to make an apparently smooth transition, how to attain a range of tone, and so on. But cast also teaches something else, something arguably more important, which is that all great art has been conceptualized. This is a cast of Michelangelo's Giuliano de' Medici. Now, if I were to tell you that this is a cast of a real face taken from life, you wouldn't believe me for a second. So, Michelangelo has done something with it. He has conceptualized it. He has simplified it. I mean, eyes don't look like this. These eyes are closer to architecture than they are to anatomy. Granted, the information is extrapolated from an eye. Michelangelo certainly understands the construction of an eye. But it's been simplified, generalized. What is happening, actually, is that the artist is trying to get at the eternal behind the specific. Here are some examples of plaster cast drawings and paintings that have been done at the Angel Academy. And here's Matthew, next to his extraordinary painting of the Laocoon. Work from the figure begins pretty much right at the beginning of your time with us. Waxing Neoplatonic as before, as with Michelangelo's Giuliano, you are drawing a conceptualization of the pose. You're making an arrangement of shapes that are in the same position as the various parts of the model, in order to get to the fundamental qualities of the pose that is embodied in the model. You are drawing the pose, not the model. First-year students have lectures and assignments on anatomy such that the structure and construction of the human frame becomes an ingrained component of all future work. Second-year students deal with the logic and science of perspective. Perspective teaches us two things. First, how to portray a three-dimensional object, but more importantly, it trains the mind to think in 3 dimensions on a 2-dimensional surface. Now, here's a sampling of some of the wonderful figure drawings that have been done here at the Angel Academy. After a year of drawing, you then move to painting from the figure, so that you can gain more experience with the demanding medium of oil paints, drawing with color, as the masters learn to do. Here are some examples of paintings done from the live model.